All right, welcome to Tangled Rights, episode number 755.
69.
Hey!
It's episode 69, dude.
Boy, white boy Autumn, what's up? White boy fucking Autumn, let's go.
Welcome. Justin had a big
3.5 hour long restitution hearing. I want to hit myself in the face. We won. Sometimes winning doesn't mean winning exactly. It means instead of having to pay $85,000 in restitution, you have to pay $20,000. Which is what happened today.
Which is a big saving for the client, right?
Yeah, huge saving. I mean, that's what he makes in a year, the difference. So that changed a year of his life of earning is now back to him.
And he gets a drop down, right?
And he gets
for the drop down.
He gets a misdemeanor at the end. And we already got him away from a felony.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I absolutely forgot to bring up that I meant to because Alex told me. One of the reasons they went ahead with the deal, obviously, whatever. Their forensic accountant couldn't even make heads or tails of the stuff. They're like, dude, this doesn't mean anything. It's gibberish. The DA's forensic accountant, the person they use to help them, with all these cases.
I'm not surprised. Sometimes people use the court system as a vehicle for their personal vendettas, and we see that in criminal law.
And more than their personal vendettas, I don't doubt that this lady was being taken advantage of. I think her ex-husband was really taking her to task. But she tried to flat out lie about documents. And the best part, so there's an Excel spreadsheet, right, that was created, that was copied and pasted from their general ledger that she had our client help her make. Hey, I want you to go through and find these things and copy and paste them into an Excel spreadsheet and we'll talk about it. When I handed her the spreadsheet that she reviewed before and talked about and had meetings with an accountant, I don't know, I can't say that that's the same one. I'd have to compare them. And I'm like, dude, is that really the position you're taking? We would have won if we went to a jury trial. She would have been super unlikable. But, the client doesn't want to risk it. They don't want to risk it. Plus, they don't want to pay for it. And he doesn't want to pay what he's already owed.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, he still owes me money. I work for free sometimes, and I hate myself for it.
Yeah, let's regardless. Welcome to another episode of Tangled Rights. We're two attorneys in the Las Vegas area. Cox and Wilson Law. I'm the Cox. Justin's the Wilson.
Still.
Happy Labor Day weekend. This will come out on Labor Day or maybe on Tuesday. We'll see.
No, it'll come out on Labor Day.
We'll see what we do.
Austin will work on a holiday.
All right. Perfect.
Right?
You
can tell him I said that.
Although we are two attorneys, this is not intended to be legal advice. If you do want a legal opinion on something, especially in the state of Nevada, or Justin also practices in Kansas, give us a call. Okay? All right, got a few topics. We have not discussed anything. You've been in court until you just barely walked in.
I just got back and had myself a granola bar and part of a water. And awesome. I'm trying to relax because I was big mad during that hearing.
Yeah, I can understand why.
It was a 3-hour restitution hearing.
That is a long restitution hearing, for sure. Never had anything that long restitution.
And she let a writ get argued in the middle.
Oh, because you guys were taking so much time and she knew it was going to be long.
Yeah.
Hey, courts are fluid. Like, they are fluid.
Just like Austin's gender.
Sometimes we have people ask us, well, what's going to happen? We got to be ready for anything because it is fluid. I don't know how many cases the judge has that day. Doesn't get finalized until that same morning or the night before.
It is 1:23 p.m. and we were supposed to be done with this by 1. I didn't even
by 11, right? 11.
No, we were going to start at noon and get done at 1.
Oh, okay.
And I just got here.
Well,
hour and a half late.
It was scheduled for 9:30 in the morning and then got pushed back to noon.
No, I'm talking about this. This is what we're here for right now.
The podcast.
We had talked about, that's why you showed up early. I'm sorry. And that's another reason that I'm in the hearing and I'm like, because I'm late and, I don't like being late. Like when I'm late for shit.
1,300 hours is too late. Yeah.
My brain starts buzzing and I'm just like, you're late. You're late. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Your whole family hates you. You bring a dishonor to your family. Everybody who's in charge of you is going to die because they have to make up for your mistakes. You're late. That's where my brain goes. You just, oh, dude, I could go through some. Anyway, yeah, I don't like being late.
The military, my dad was military officer for a lot of years, and
he could be late probably as an officer. An enlisted man cannot be late.
Just time for my dad and being on time was always a huge thing. I think it's just a different atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay, so what we got?
Which I understand. I don't know if you saw this video. We're going to clip in the video just at the very beginning because I think it's fantastic and just crazy. So we'll clip this video in right now.
We have this breaking news. Within the past hour and a half, a jury found a man not guilty of murdering a Fulton County deputy. Channel 2's Richard Elliott is live outside of the Fulton County Courthouse with how the judge in the case, Richard, actually misread that verdict at first.
Yeah, this all went down just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. It was one of the strangest endings to a trial I have ever seen in 40 years of covering trials. Alton Oliver on trial for the murder of Fulton County Deputy James Thomas Jr. Jury comes back in, hands the verdict form to the judge. Judge Henry Newkirk reads the verdict, only it wasn't the actual verdict. He misread it in open court. Here's some video of how it all unfolded.
The verdict, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty as to all 6 counts of the bill of indictment. Sheriff, will you please hand this to State's counsel and pass it over to...
Wait, what?
Didn't I say not?
No.
Sorry. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty on all 6 counts. I apologize for my mispronunciation.
So again, Alton Oliver found not guilty. He was acquitted of the murder of Fulton County Deputy James Thomas. Oliver testified earlier in the week that Thomas propositioned him for sex 3 times that morning along Bolton Road, and that he only fired on Thomas in self-defense. Apparently, the jury agreed. We'll have more on this story coming up on Channel 2 Action News at 6. We're live in downtown Atlanta. Richard Elliott, Channel 2 Action News.
Holy shit. Bro, could you imagine the fucking 20 seconds of that dude's life? Oh my God, that's terrible. Guilty, and just passes it off, and he's like, ugh, I'm gonna die in prison. And then, oh wait, my bad, not guilty. You get to walk out of this room. What?
That's the part. That's
shit.
This is the short part that made me want to show you. We'll clip in just that not guilty part, I guess, when we get
Good
to Dawson.
God.
The accidental reading, and then like the jury's sitting there still. The jury's always sitting there. And this is a senior judge. I looked this up a little bit because I was so intrigued by this. It's
older, but like
he's a senior judge. His name is Henry Newkirk, and you see the name is a different name there. So I don't know if he was sitting in on the whole entire trial, because sometimes when a police is involved, active judges are hearing police testify so much, and there's a relationship there. Sometimes senior judges come in and hear cases. So what a senior judge is, it's basically a retired judge who they'll come in one day in a court, because judges take vacations sometimes. They take their kids, on trips.
Judges are people, and sometimes they're sick.
So they'll just call the senior judge office and say, hey, can you sit in on my hearings for this week, for this day, whatever. And they get paid like a per diem rate for that day. So they'll come in, and we see
Judge Jansen, he's got to be 90.
There are some judges.
I'm going to look him up.
There are some judges who are old, and there's some who are kind of young. So I looked up this judge a little bit because I was so intrigued. He went to the Woodrow Wilson Law School in Atlanta, so he's from the area. And I read that it closed in 1987. No longer a law school, around before George was born, the same year I'm born, slightly after you were born. So this guy's been practicing law for 40 years. He graduated in 82. So over 40 years. Looked extremely young. I agree with you, for being late 60s at least. So it was a senior judge sitting in. He wasn't wearing a robe, which I was kind of confused. I'm like, who is this guy? Why would he read it wrong? Like, because sometimes you'll see in court, sometimes it's the clerk that reads it.
I feel like I could.
Sometimes it's a jury member that reads it. And then I think it's pretty rare that a judge reads it. But this time it was a judge who's maybe he's out of practice, doesn't.
Well, I can tell you what it is. They're so used to saying guilty that maybe, let's be real.
Maybe that's it. And I didn't look up his history. Sometimes it's appellate judges who then, go back to the trial level. So he might not have presided over a trial in a while. I don't know. I just thought it was extremely interesting that he reads it wrong. And it's like that moment we've, had that moment with our clients when they're facing life, and we're sitting there and a spouse is so nervous, and like the client's so nervous, and you're holding on and your knees are going weak. And he had 3 murder charges. 3 of them were murder charges. I don't know how they do it in Georgia, but apparently maybe there's a first, second, and third. They can do separate kind of charges. Here in Nevada, a little different. You have 1 murder charge that's open that the jury can interpret, but 3 murder charges, any one of those could be possible prison for life,
Correct.
Huge reaper.
So he's going to die in prison.
And then
So
he had battery, like, you know, kind
Jansen
of
was
things.
appointed to Department 5 in Justice Court in 1987.
Who's Jansen? Local, you're saying?
This fella right here.
I've never seen this guy.
Yeah, you have. He's
I
in
have seen
DUI
him.
court. He
I've seen
stands
him.
in for Bonaventure a lot.
I've seen him in DUI court. You're right.
Dude, you can order this as a photo to put in your office.
Let's frame that.
Dude, I like Jansen. And honestly,
They just keep it
he's
moving.
900 years old, but he does a good job. I hope that I live as long as him and have the same cognitive ability as him.
He does good.
If I could live that long with his brain and like my brain, but for me and not have a stroke before then, which I will soon, I'd be happy with that.
So this case kind of pops up because of this misreading, and this judge is going to be famous now because he misread this. And
Oh, yeah.
that's crazy. Sometimes you have those moments in your life that last forever, and then the jury just kind of says, like, what? Like, you just kind of dismiss it. Or is it like, where's the April Fools? Like, so I'm glad that the jury at least voiced their opinion. It should have got corrected. I guess some people are looking at this like, oh, the judge is trying to make sure he's guilty, and I think he was just accidental. Like, that's what I'm guessing.
Sure
'Cause
it was.
you can't do that in the face of the jury and them just stay quiet and stay silent, because he really says, did I not say not? Like,
No, bro,
That's kind of
you skipped that word.
that's kind of it. So
It's critical.
Should we change it from guilty versus acquitted, or guilty or not guilty? Those are easier to screw up. and
No,
it's like,
we need that because if you asked 10
I-
people on the street, if we went down to Fremont right now, Fremont is not very far from us, and said, what does the word acquitted mean? I bet you 7 or 8 of them don't know what the fuck we're talking about. So not quilty.
not guilty is, and that's what it is. It's either guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, or no,
Not guilty.
couldn't get there. And these facts, okay, this made me look up the case a little more. Okay, you saw it in the news article. I looked up a lot more details on it.
Shot the guy for proposition and for sex.
So an off-duty police officer, James Thomas Jr., okay, this is at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Alton Oliver's just walking.
Nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Alton Oliver's just walking, okay, walking on the street. And
Like walking the streets?
no, not propositioning like that.
I don't know,
Just
dude.
going to work or something like that.
right,
Yeah.
all right.
So just walking, has a handgun on him, and he cannot, he can own it. That's fine. He doesn't, it's not
his
illegal
Second
ownership or anything like that.
Amendment
Second Amendment right as well. Right. So an off-duty police officer comes and approaches him about sex, like
Making romance. Physically.
about, yes, proffering
physical romance.
oral sex. Okay?
Orally romantical.
Specifically, okay?
Ooh. Wait, he was saying he wanted to perform it on the guy walking,
I
or he
think
wanted
so.
the guy walking to perform on him?
I think he wanted to perform it on the guy walking. Okay.
Oh, that's aggressive.
I mean, so supposedly
How would you do it? Would you, if you were going to proposition somebody like that, would you say, "Hey, I want to perform this on you," or would it be like, "You perform it on me"?
I guess I don't
That's
know.
my thought.
Different strokes for different folks. Okay, whatever. Regardless,
Different strokes in this, really.
that's a good yeah.
Hey.
So he approaches him 3 separate times. Okay, and there's no disagreement about this prosecution. So he comes up on him one time. Okay,
Comes
and
up
just
on him.
talks to him. The second time is when there's a sexual proffering. And then the third time is when the shoot happens. There's some debate about how far away the police officer or the off-duty police officer, who's not in police garb or anything like that. He's not wearing it. Just he is a police officer at the time.
Can't be that
Active.
far if he got shot with a handgun.
He was about 20 feet away at
It's
the time.
not that far.
Okay, not that far. Prosecution tried to make it seem like
20 feet
a very
is not
far
even
distance.
10 yards.
Okay,
20
very far
feet
distance.
is 2/3 of 10 yards.
So it becomes a self-defense case. In a self-defense murder case, defendant has to testify. Like
100%.
everybody knows he pulled the trigger. He talked to the police right after.
He called him?
The prosecution honed. I don't know if he called him or not. There were some scattered witnesses in the area that heard kind of the scuffles. Okay,
What is everybody doing awake at 4 a.m.?
he's just walking in the neighborhood.
Nothing
Man.
happens that's good after 2 a.m., Shane.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not out at that time.
You're always asleep.
Try to be. So
Not playing Black Ops with me and Lawrence, I'll tell you that.
he pulls the trigger, okay, and he has to testify, and he does testify, and he testifies that he was approached and offered, sexual
Not even,
relationships.
Like, and that's weird, man, because it's like, hey, I'm going to do this to you. No, Okay, they go away and they come back. Sure.
You want to get in
I'm
my
positive.
car? You want to get in my car and
Guess
get a ride?
what? You're coming to my basement.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do whatever I want as many times as I want. So
And
yeah,
the
I get it.
defense team did an excellent job here. You know, they got the result that they were looking for on this case, right? So
If I had a nickel for every time someone approached me at 4 a.m., I'd have 0 nickels.
with good intentions, anyway.
Well, my thought is like, dude, I don't know. I always try to put myself in their situation. I would need to. I feel like something else had to have been happening, other than just like, hey, let me blow you, because that's not great, but it's not scary.
There's more words, but that's the synopsis, right?
Okay.
And the testimony, what comes out also is he does not mention that at first to the police, okay, on the very initial conversation. And so the prosecution is trying to exploit that, as they do in cases. They try and exploit any inconsistency.
He didn't say
Why did you not point out the fact that he, offered sex? Why did you just say he drove up on me 3 times and I felt threatened by him? And so in order to protect myself, I shot him. And so the mention of like the real reason, and it, he can say that there's some shame. Like, I don't want to talk about some guy
because he was considering it.
I don't know. And
he's like, man, he was about to convince me. He was a charmer, that one.
And this funny moment of like the judge saying the wrong thing, like overshadows.
Not funny.
Well, funny, weird, not funny.
Not funny,
funny.
Yeah.
Funny, like
what?
Like, how does this happen?
It's funny because most jury verdict forms I've seen, they're in completely separate spots. The good ones are like this. Guilty's over here, not guilty's here. The bad ones are like this. Guilty, not guilty.
And typically you'll see him on count 1, not guilty. Count 2, not guilty. Count 3. And I think if they were guilty, he would have gone through them.
Sometimes there's not guilty all counts.
Yeah.
So like it'll have it like a
they can
not
just
guilty
check
all counts.
easy.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it was. And that would have been the confusion, I guess, from the attorneys too, because it's like, you can't be guilty on all 3 counts of murder. You could have to choose one of the 3. So everybody was probably
guilty
confused
of first,
there.
second, and third degree murder.
He did them all.
You don't shoot police officers, not in our town.
Put him under the prison. He was just making an
What's
offer.
that line from Cars? I'm going to put him in a jail. I'll put him in the jail until he rots. Scratch that. I'm going to put him in the jail until the jail rots. And then I'm going to put him in another jail. I've watched Cars 700 times.
Vroom. Yeah.
Vroom. My son likes Cars, and so he's recently started to watch some other show that he's watched twice, but usually it's Vroom. And so I bought number 3 on Amazon so that we don't have to just watch 1 and 2 on Disney. We'll watch 1, 2, 3.
3's good. I like 3.
They're all good, actually.
It's female empowerment if cars can be females.
Dude, have you seen the fan theories? So weird. Dude, you want to Google something?
The humans
goofy?
are inside of the
or
cars.
Or the car's just made of human stuff, and like there's dead people, and there's all kinds of crazy fan theories on cars. You got to go down the rabbit hole.
I've seen it.
It's like a car mech suit with like a decomposing human inside of it. Dude,
you've probably seen Cars 1, never 2 and 3. Is that?
No, I saw Cars.
Oh, Cars 2
They're
is
actually
horrible.
not bad. I mean,
Cars 2 is weird.
Why?
International cars?
Why not?
I do
Who
like.
would win in an F1 versus a stock car race, though? Are they the same
F1?
speed?
No, F1s are so much faster.
Okay, I just don't know how fast the stock cars go.
They
go 200 miles an hour, don't they?
Don't talk too loud because Gladys will come in and she'll want to talk about F1 cars.
Like Dale Earnhardt, they go 200, I thought.
Yeah, but they only do the 1 turns.
That's fine. They're still going 200 miles an hour. Do F1 cars go 240?
Yeah, and they like do crazy turns.
Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the speed. Let's try to focus for a second.
Yes, they go faster.
240.
Top speeds.
Google us.
He'll Google it up.
All right. Anyway, what's his name? Francisco.
Yeah. Well, who voices him? It's isn't it Borat?
No, it's not Sacha Baron Cohen.
I thought it was.
Hold on. I'm going to Google that. All right.
Okay.
Cars 2 cast.
Well, how did we even get on? Oh, throwing.
Oh, no, it's John Turturro.
Oh,
you underestimate the sneakiness, sir.
That's a good. Okay.
I mean, 20 miles an hour
Not
is
that
a lot.
much off.
That's 10%.
But I think
it's not
the
like as
F1
much.
cars are so much more nimble too.
It's because they have no fenders, open fenders. Remember how the girl, what her name is, Sally, she's like, oh, Francisco Bernoulli.
I haven't seen
and he's
Cars
like, it's
2.
2 syllables, not 12.
I haven't seen Cars 2 in a while. We don't really believe in that one in our house.
I did.
1
My
and 3.
personal favorite was Miles Axelrod as Eddie Izzard. Do you know who Eddie Izzard is? That is Eddie Izzard. He's a British cross-dressing comedian.
Okay.
And he was one of the spy cars.
I've seen him.
And he's hilarious. Do you have a flag? No flag, no country. That's what I said right now, and I'm backing it up with this gun I had lent to me from the National Rifle Association. Talking about how they took over India with a flag. Do you have a flag? And he sits there and he like stares at the camera and then he goes, for an uncomfortably long time. No flag, no country. That's so good.
That's some comedy there.
Whatever, you're too stupid to get it.
No, I am too dumb to get it.
This guy gets it.
Every case is so unique. Like every case could have so many days of trial. This was only like a 4-day trial because there's not that much evidence.
That's fast.
There's not that much testimony. It's just cops, witnesses that didn't really hear much of anything. I heard gunshots, a little bit of argument. Did you hear any words? No, I couldn't make out anything. And then the defendant.
He did come back 4 or 5 times though, and he was licking his lips a lot.
The defendant's testimony, so important. If you believe the defendant's story, you go not guilty. If you don't, you might go guilty. Like,
dude.
So that's a tough.
The problem that I have with all this is like, how many times have you ever met somebody in your life that was telling the truth, but because of how they are as a person, they're nervous. They're just nervous talking to people, or they're just generally kind of wormy or shifty. They don't seem believable.
Yep.
But it's a je ne sais quoi, and it has nothing to do with the veracity of their statement.
In our jobs, I think that's just way too often.
Dude,
right?
It sucks. Like our client today.
Nice guy,
but because of his like anger at this situation, which I'd be angry too, he
can't see it clearly from an outside
see it clearly,
view.
and he seems like he's not telling the truth.
Yeah. No, there were some facts there too. I mean,
there were a ton of bad facts.
Every case we have, there has to be some kind of negative facts. Otherwise, the case would, get dismissed and we'd pass prelim and just win, right? We'd win at prelim, right? If there's no
a lot
facts,
of times that they'll still file when there's bad
there's
facts.
file on them, but we'll at least win on prelim. Oh, yeah.
Bro,
but we got it dismissed, right?
You got it dismissed, but you had to file a motion. It never even should have made it out of screening.
I agree.
Mr. Scow, do your job.
I'm
agree.
Kidding.
I love Rick.
I agree,
Richard,
but
I don't know why I called him Rick. Richard Scow.
All cases have their unique elements. This one gets popular just because the judge, saying the complete wrong thing, which is just like life altering for everyone. Could
you imagine
his mom
you're
in the
guilty
room?
And you're just like, and before you can even like process it, because you're sitting there thinking, oh man,
you do a full. It's a 180, 180, 180. And
then it's like, oh, I'm just kidding. I left the not out. My bad. Not guilty. And then you're like.
Yeah,
I would at that moment. I'd be like, I need to leave. You need to let me go right now. I need to get out of this room because I would panic so hard. I guarantee you, he's been in custody since it happened.
Very likely. And we saw it happen in 2022, 2023. So 2-3 years.
2-3 years.
He could have made bail, maybe.
No, he didn't.
Maybe.
No, he didn't.
All right, you're probably right.
I know,
but maybe I was holding out.
It's possible, but I'm betting against it.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to our next story, which George is here, so I had to have this story.
George.
Okay. George loves college football.
Or is it Jorge?
Jorge.
It's Jorge.
Is it actually?
Is it really Jorge? It's George?
It's spelled GEO. Oh, well then why would you say it was?
I'm
Cuban.
It's however
well, that's
it
what I
needs
was
to
thinking.
be.
I don't know. What is it?
What do they call that now? Where you're
gender fluid.
Code switching? Code switching? Is
No,
that
code switching is whenever you switch between like if he's talking to La Raza, he speaks differently than if he's talking to a bunch of
He's
weirdos.
Jorge when he's code switching. Is that what it's called?
That's correct. Yeah, when I go to Mexico or
You're actually Jorge. Oh, that's why when I go down there, I'm a Justino. Same thing.
Or Nacho?
Or Nacho, Ignacio.
Ignacio.
My alter ego, Ignacio. There's a story behind that. I'll tell you later.
Okay, so George, just tell me yes or no if you've heard the story of Bryan Pata. Okay, recent story, University of Miami football, back in 2006. Heard about this? It's back in the news right now.
No, I have not.
Okay, so Bryan Pata, I don't know how you say his name. He was a projected second or third round pick out of the UM, huge party school. Miami has such a college football history that's just insane. They've kind of been down recently, trying to get back up. Last season was real good for them, trying to get back, but they're known as like a party school. They're a private school and they just had a great 90s and early 2000s. And this is almost near the end of like their reign. So in 2006, their projected second or third round pick in the NFL draft, okay, so he's going to potentially make millions of dollars, is found shot dead outside of his apartment, okay? Had 3 bullets in his body, mid-size. I haven't seen the exact caliber. I don't know if that information's gotten out because it's kind of sealed, but 3 bullets, pretty immediately died. There was no attempt of theft or anything. His money with cash was in his pocket. His car keys were still on him. Everything was still on him. So it looks like a hit, okay? I'll put a picture. We're going to put up a picture. I don't know if you've seen this one, George. He's on a flag. They're kind of honoring him before their last game of the season because he died middle of the season. I think it was like October. So week 8 or 9 of the season, okay?
Sucks.
So after he dies, of course, the cops get involved. They do an investigation. They have a few different leads. We learn more about Bryan Pata. He grew up in the Miami area in Little Haiti. Okay, so he has some Haitian heritage.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of
Creole, don't they? The Haitians, like French.
I believe so. Yeah, some mix of that. But he's, it's a mix of African American versus like that Creole. It's
French
like,
and Spanish.
It's kind of like a mix,
combination
right?
Or something. Sometimes Native. I think like people from Louisiana. It's like a combo French, Spanish, Native American.
Yeah,
I think so. Anyway,
yeah, something like that.
But
and it's not too far from Miami as well, right?
That's true.
So
in Veneto, Ami.
He did not leave where he was from, which sometimes, I don't know, some people need to leave where they're from to kind of get away from family and bad situations. And it seems like he grew up in Little Haiti that had some gang activities as well. And
shipping from Haiti,
He still kind of was involved in that scene and knew some gang members.
There's rap songs about it.
He was very flashy. Okay. You'll remember the early 2000s. He had spinners on his car.
Oh, God.
Spinners.
I wanted a boxed out Crown Vic with 22-inch spinners, the black ones that are silver-sided with 6 spokes.
Spinners are fortunately not a thing anymore.
It's unfortunate. They're coming back, actually. They're going to be on my Corvette soon.
Okay, awesome. So they chased some leads. He had a ton of bar fights that he was involved with. He had some fights with some guys on his team.
Let the kids play, ref.
A lot of things like that. Had an ex-girlfriend that he had a fight with who had a new boyfriend who might have been involved. His current girlfriend had a twin who was a criminal and kind of had been arrested for some crimes up in Boston. Male twin of his girlfriend.
So it's a paternal, not
fraternal.
Fraternal. Okay. Yeah.
He had just sold a car to somebody that turned out to be a lemon and didn't send what he needed to with it. So police checked into that lead as well.
So basically, this fool had enemies.
So So, in college football sometimes is so interesting in that, like, you think everything's on the up and up, but you dive into some of these histories, and sometimes there's like, you look at University of Georgia, not, blaming any SEC specific team, but like every other week there's a kid caught speeding or DUI or something. Georgia's kind of become like
paid?
Supposedly not, because in this time they could not, but he was driving around nice cars. But he had a side business with his brother where they were
selling
restoring
cocaine.
Cars. Maybe
With cocaine in the trunk.
Who knows?
You can buy a restored car. That'll be $400,000, please.
Yeah, exactly. So
for this sweet Toyota Corolla.
So whether he was getting paid, I'm sure a lot of players were getting paid, and he might have been one. And he was on his last year. He was about to get drafted.
In Miami. Get out of here.
Get drafted second or third round, which you'd get millions, low millions, not like over 10 million, but you get millions of dollars of a signing bonus. And you take care of your family.
More millions than I've got.
More millions than we both got together.
Combine us. You add George in the mix, and it's not enough. But like the two of us, more millions than we got.
So he had a history, okay? This happens in 2006. So fast forward, they do not arrest anyone on this for years, okay? For years. It remains an open case. The family, they've just been waiting for the police, waiting, and they say, hey, we're doing everything we can. That's what police seem to do.
Yeah, but most of the time they are, especially on murder cases, especially high-profile murder cases.
I agree. But if they don't arrest somebody right away, sometimes the family feels like they're not doing anything, right?
Well, that's because most of the time there's somebody to arrest right away, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right. And this is, they have a few different options, okay? but nothing really that they feel confident about. So in 2017 time frame, the family does this is now over 10 years after, the family does a press conference and saying,
still never
like,
charged anybody. Shit.
hey, like, we're still looking. And the cops have the reasoning that maybe somebody that knows something that maybe was on the football team or involved around that time has grown up, has children, has a family, and kind of thinks differently about something like, hey, this isn't turning on somebody. Somebody's life was ended.
Yeah.
And the person is still at large who did this.
Yeah, murderers.
If you
out there.
have information, come forward. The police asked ESPN to even mention it on some of their college football TV showings, like their airings. Just, hey, mention this again, because when these things get publicity, sometimes more information comes out. It's crazy how that happens, that publicity will change things. Fast forward, ESPN does kind of a special investigative journalism article. Sometimes they do these real deep dives into cases. They started it in 2018, they said, and it didn't come out till late 2020. So 2 years of investigation that they're doing this, looking into this case. They get the full police investigation from the cops just to go over everything, because sometimes these news outlets have the resources and they get paid to kind of do this too. And
they're good at needling.
And they're good at looking at things at a different angle, I guess. So over 2 years that they're doing this investigation, one of the reports that was incredibly interesting to me is sometimes dead chickens or goats' heads would be at the burial site of
That's some like voodoo shit.
of Mr. Pata, and they were like kind of upset about that. They don't know if the person who committed the murder is the one involved. So they exhumed the body. Well, they didn't exhume the body, but the casket, and moved it to another location that they didn't tell the public about. So kind of a private spot, kind of a secret cemetery kind of option, which is
having voodoo shit show
which
up.
is super interesting. And then 2021, 2021, it comes out that charges have finally been pressed against one guy. And of course, I showed you this picture. Number 38 in this picture is who they are suspecting of the murder. Okay. He is now the criminal defendant facing these charges. Okay. From that picture.
He was in the picture.
Full
so
circle.
obviously he has
That's
something
why
to do with it.
that's why that picture
That's stupid.
becomes of interest. Rashawn Jones. Okay.
Is that the fella's name?
That's the guy's name, number 38, the cornerback. It was a big defensive lineman who was supposed to, who was the guy who got murdered. Okay. Supposed to be the high draft pick.
D linemen usually do well.
They need him. Yeah.
I mean, they get paid good, don't they?
It's one of the position groups that can, yeah.
Or is it D tackle or O tackle that's like there's one on
Offensive tackles, I mean, the top
money-wise.
the top of every position's like the top, but offensive tackle is one of the highest.
Okay.
And defensive ends usually paid higher than interior line, but
Sure.
It's
It doesn't matter for us because we always lose. So
we're not the top. We're not at the top of our. Well, you guys need to pay Micah Parsons, man. He is a crazy edge rusher, but I don't know how much money he's asking for. He's kind of a crazy guy, though.
Pay it.
He's kind of a crazy guy.
We need to pay whatever we need to pay to get a new quarterback.
All right, let me tell you about the Rashawn Jones case, because there was just an evidentiary hearing about some issues on the case.
Okay.
Charged in 2021. Trial is now going to be upcoming. The judge is sitting on some rulings about this evidentiary hearing they just had. The evidence that has come out, not everything's public. Okay. There's some things that are private that we're not going to see till a potential trial in this case from the prosecution. Rashawn had dated the same girl. Okay. They kind of had a dispute over the same girlfriend that they had.
Oh,
okay.
The decedent, Pata and Rashawn.
Pata and Rashawn Jones had dated the same girl. So that's a dispute. They had some altercation and some fights before. Like I told you, Pata had some fights with some other people as well. But there is reports that there was one fight that they had where Pata had headbutted Jones 5 times specifically in a row. 1, 2, 3,
by a
4,
D
5.
lineman. Like
Okay.
you're lucky your head's not caved in, especially if you're a quarterback.
And then the quote that came out, and this is like some of these things are Miami specific that I don't quite understand, and I had to look up. Call your Zoes and clip up is what he is reported to say to him. Zoes is, I'm learning this and I love learning things. Zo is something that Haitians can call their friends, like their they're homies. It's another word for that. A Zoe's like a close person. So he said, call your Zoes and clip up meaning get your clip ready. You know,
I understand that part. I got that part.
Get your gun ready. Okay. That's the quote that he's reported to saying, and this is from multiple other teammates that are saying this. Rashawn Jones had been tested positive for marijuana for the third time, so he was suspended.
Oh my God!
Suspended for this is early. This is
he did weed.
This is in the 2000s when there was a lot.
Why
more.
are you not disgusted right now? You don't even care about anything. I expected you to care about the rule of sports, Mr. Sports Betting Book Podcast Man.
Yeah, that's
not weed.
That's definitely a performance enhancing drug,
Bro,
right?
It definitely doesn't make them any more lazy and eat bullshit. No, for sure.
So he was suspended from the team. He was not at practice that day. Pata was murdered coming home from practice. Okay. So Rashawn Jones' alibi was that he was in his apartment alone, which is not.
That's a great alibi.
Not much of an alibi, right?
I was by myself where no one else was.
So it's
not murdering though.
It's found out that Pata's murdered. The coaches call out all the players and say emergency team meeting mandatory right now.
Get here, meow.
Okay. Get here now. Jones says that, I was there. Teammates say he was not there.
Ooh.
Which it's after the murder, right? So it's like this is reporting on the murder.
I'm not looking for Jones. I'm looking for Pata.
Well, he's dead. So
I get it. But you're there and you're like hoping that your friend walks through the door.
Yeah.
You never had something like that where...
Oh, okay.
First time you get together as a group.
And you don't know what it is, and maybe there's a rumor. Yeah.
And you're looking for that guy. You're like, man, where is he? Where is he? Is it real? Is he really dead? Is my friend dead?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for Jones. They're looking for Pata.
Sure.
And I don't mean that flippantly. I'm not trying to be funny, but it is funny
But that'll be a piece of evidence if he was there or not. Like that's what people are starting to hone in on, right?
Yeah, if he was there, big difference. If he wasn't,
he's saying he was there, but
lying when you're charged with murder,
that is negative. Yeah,
that's not good. Advisable.
That is
behavior.
Not good.
Just don't say anything.
Another piece of evidence that comes out is Rashawn's then girlfriend calls another player and says, hey, he's been acting really strange, like really standoffish.
Like he killed his friend
today. And she says that he didn't go to the meeting as well. So, and then another piece of evidence is he changed his phone number the day after, which I don't know what that would have to do with anything if they're trying to ping his phone or something, but that's too late
and stuff. It doesn't matter. They could retroactively do it. But they also might not be able to do it if they didn't do it for 10 years. They might not be able to triangulate him. I don't know, though.
Yeah. There's no real piece of evidence that they're like coming up with as to why they charged him this late in the game. Like, because he was an initial suspect. He was one of the 5 initial suspects. He was featured in this article. They mentioned him and kind of the prior dealings and him having threatened and saying, hey, you need to keep your gun, on you or whatever that really meant.
Call your Zatas.
Your Zoes.
Zoes, whatever.
Zoes, yeah. Call
Those
your Zoes
guys.
and clip up.
BME click.
So the evidence you're hearing right now is about kind of prior statements that he made, like prior threats and aggression he had with other teammates.
Prior bad acts, uncharged, excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. So you see this as a defense attorney, right? And I know you're going to. And
let me put my prosecutor hat on.
What you see in the news is this would be good for our case and, help us convict him. So we want it in.
We need a conviction. I don't care what the truth is or justice.
So one of the exclusions is the mimic evidence, right? So if he has a motive,
intent,
if he has a motive or intent. So the
identity.
statement
C is corroboration. I don't know.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares? Who cares?
It has to do with one of the first two, right?
One of the first two.
Motive or intent. So is this prior statement, you think, going to come in of saying, call your Zoes and clip up?
No.
Like have a gun on you. You don't think the judge should let it in or the judge won't let it in?
I don't think the judge should let it in.
Okay. And this
because
is
it's a prior statement. It'd be different if it was like, oh, that was made the same day.
Or what about if it's in the week? Like how long is it?
The further away it is, the more likely I don't want it in. I don't think it's fair.
Well, if I know you don't want, no defense attorney is going to want this in, right?
But
this
also
is
like,
a piece of
from the perspective of like, Do they have anything else? Like any other
That's
good
the thing
evidence?
is, I don't know. Like
Because if they don't have
this
any-
is not public yet,
But
right?
they know what evidence they have, and the real argument comes down to what other evidence is there. If there's nothing else and this is all they got, then it's attenuated and it needs to be taken out.
They get one chance to try him, right?
Theoretically.
They get one chance to try him.
Could get more than one.
Is there going to be any other evidence? And it doesn't seem like there's going to be any other
That's all they
evidence.
got. Then boy, wave Speedy. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is obviously, he got charged a couple years ago. This is
Because
an
also he's
important
not
motion.
saying I'm going to come kill you. He's saying let's fight. That's different. Let's fight. It's
Stay
different.
ready for a fight.
We're going to fight. Call your boys.
Yeah.
That's different than I'm coming to fucking murder you.
Right now. Not, you are an unsafe person and should have a gun on you, sir.
Yes.
Make sure.
Always. But brain works well sometimes.
It's been a long day.
Always utilize your Second Amendment rights.
Yeah. Hey,
That's the word.
that's a different statement than saying call your Zoes and clip up. Yeah.
I'm going to go hang out with my Zoes after this.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun.
One of my Zoes in LBC driving to California.
It'll be awesome.
It's going to be great.
All right. A couple defense arguments that are going to come up in trial that I think are great. You can bring an alternate theory, like, hey, I'm not the one who did this. Somebody else did it, but you can bring that as a defense if there's credible evidence for it. There are supposedly 2 potential confessions to this. It's kind of attenuated, right? One.
What do you mean attenuated? There's a confession.
It's not a real confession. It's not like to the police.
What, were they beating him?
No, this is a cellmate of the guy who supposedly said it, right? So another guy by the
That's
name,
exculpatory. That's Brady material.
it is Brady material, and it's been disclosed, right? So whether it's admissible at trial is a different question, though,
Why wouldn't it be?
because it has to at least meet the standard,
What's the standard?
right? There has to be some credibility to it.
The credibility is you've got somebody who's making a statement that has nothing to do with the case, is not being threatened or promised anything, and they're just like, yo, I killed that fool.
Okay,
What's
so
up?
supposedly a guy in jail who is
And let him explain himself.
taking a lie detector test, says that another man by the name of Emmanuel Jones, no relation to the other Jones, Rashawn Jones, but happened to have the same very common last name, had admitted that he did kill, because they were talking in jail about, hey, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And like sharing stories, and he said,
Like, hey, the mob needs you to tell us about a crime.
yeah,
Right?
we've learned that's no, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Oh, this dude promised me 10,000 and I really needed the money, so he gave me 3,000 up front to go shoot a dude. And then they saw it on the news while they were there or something, and there's like, oh, well, that must have been the dude I shot, So, and then the guy's now, denying it, saying, oh, I never did that, all that. So this is something that I think this one, the defense will likely be able to bring up and present and say, this alternate theory,
Sure. I mean, that literally goes to the whole defense of the case is it wasn't me. It was someone else. He's murdered. Somebody did it. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
That guy did it. And you know how I know? He said he did it. Why would you say you murdered somebody?
Well, another guy says that he said it, right?
Whatever. It's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. It's being offered as an alternate theory.
There you go. So, and then another one, there was another potential one that says it was somebody from Haiti.
Shipping from Haiti.
And there was no name assigned to it. It's got to be given to the defense team, but those things don't get made public. Not everything gets made public. Who supposedly died in the 2010 Haitian earthquake. That was real crazy.
Convenient.
Convenient.
He did it.
Yeah.
He did it.
He admitted to it, and then he happened to
him.
die.
Let's blame him.
I don't think
dead.
I don't think that one will be admissible because the statement didn't come out. I don't know what the statement is, or
Well, how'd they know then if it didn't come out?
didn't come out to me. Okay,
No one told you?
nobody told me. All
They
right?
should. People should just start
They
telling
should.
you things.
They should tell me things. So this is going to be a super interesting one to watch.
It'll be good.
I think
Because
that
it's so old. That's the problem, dude.
yeah.
Cold cases, they're tough. You're going to have witnesses that are gone, people that died of natural causes, people that decide they don't want to deal with this shit anymore. And on the other side, it's interesting because you still have a family that's as burned. So they're going to be as amped up. But on the other side, you're going to have a lot weaker and more like porous case because of the time, the degradation of time.
yeah.
But the family is going to be as fired up as they were day one.
And
Probably.
I wanted to dive into like a little bit about what an evidentiary hearing is because
Evidence
we
is
mentioned
discussed in a hearing.
Okay. Yeah, we mentioned it, and it's kind of a throwaway. Some issues are so big and need time from the judge to be heard that they'll have a special hearing for hours. And testimony was brought here for the teammates. There was multiple teammates that were brought to testify. And it's kind of funny seeing all these old college athletes who have grown out sideways, you know.
Oh, because they still eat 8,000 calories a day, but they don't train 9,000 calories a day.
A lot of them seem to, you know, have grown in size, and they're
Hoops among us.
they're in their 40s now. They're even older than us, right?
How
Greg Olson was on that team too.
heavy
Greg
were you
Olson.
in high school?
Oh, dude, I was skinnier than I am now for sure.
No shit.
But I don't know. Like
I graduated at like 155.
I don't remember my
And
weight.
right now I weigh this morning I weighed 202. So 52 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
But also, you know,
there's some muscle there.
a little bit more of that.
A little more muscle.
Yeah. George, you want some?
I don't know what you're offering. Is this
I'm
going back
just
to
wait
that?
till I drive up next time. Next time I'll
Gross.
be a little more aggressive. I'll be like, George, see this?
Clip up, George. Clip up.
See these? You better get your Zoes, bro.
Maybe on the third time around.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get fucked up. All right.
So, extremely important case. We'll see what happens. Evidentiary hearings when it's just more than what a simple hearing would be able to accomplish. Judge wants to hear testimony. It's
About
not
a
just
specific thing though.
it's specific. Like usually, there's a motion that's like, "Hey, we need some of your time, Judge, to really explore this issue." And the judges are pretty good at granting those and like, no, this is so simple. Like, I don't need to hear
an evidentiary
anything.
hearing. We can have argument and you'll present evidence, but we don't need a hearing. A hearing is whenever they've got to get into the weeds.
Yeah, and this is getting into the weeds. Hey,
Sure.
what really was said? Like, what was the timing on it? What are you saying was said? These are all the potential witnesses at a trial.
The deal here is that with this kind of thing, that the nuances, the little details are going to affect admissibility dramatically.
Yeah,
So that's why in this situation you need an evidentiary hearing, whereas with a lot of motions we argue, you just go in and you argue the motion. Motion to reduce bail. Has there been a change in circumstance? Yeah. You know, the state's their lab report came back, no blood. Or
Yeah, there you go.
no alcohol in the blood. I don't need anything for that. I don't need to get testimony up there, put a lab technician on. They'll stipulate to the lab report. They can't not. It's their lab report. So that's an easy one. Stuff like that. That's an example of a time where you don't need a hearing because it's cut and dry and the judge just gets to make a ruling as a matter of law.
okay. So these are the narrowly tailored issues that we're trying to get this to the jury in the right way. Okay, is this something that can be brought up in front of the jury or not?
What's the right way, Shane? It's the way I want it.
It's the way the defense attorney wants it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Me specifically. Do not step on a snake.
You specifically. Okay.
Listener question, please.
We don't have one.
Oh, come up with a listener question.
George, what's your listener question
What's your
for
listener
us?
question? Why don't you make something up? I want to see you work on the fly, bud.
Somebody was to, I guess, come in here right now
And ask me if I want it.
turn all the cameras off, trash the room, break the TV monitors. How long do you think it would take you guys to stop that? If you two were also in here.
And they just walk right in?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that it's going to be 15 seconds to 10 seconds between when I get to them. How long it takes me to stop them depends on who they are. If it's Shane Shapiro, I'm going to try and fail.
If it's Shane
If
Cox.
it's Austin Alvarez, be a different story.
2 seconds. You asked me a question before you got here, actually, that how long does a criminal case take? Which I think is a common question
I
we
like
get.
your question better.
I like your question. It's not related
What's
to
your
our-
answer?
our
What's your
subject.
answer? I think I can get to him in 10 seconds if he starts, because he's going to break that TV, and I'm going to say, holy shit, we're stopping this.
There'll be a
The
moment.
real question is, why
there'll
would
be
you
a moment
stop
of
him? You're
shock.
closer.
I didn't say I was in the
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, it's just us? Are you threatening to break our stuff? Is that what's happening?
No, I was just seeing
He's
how
like,
much time
yo.
I have before you guys act upon criminal acts.
Justin will jump up first.
As fast as I can get up.
Justin will jump
The
up
problem
first.
is there's going to be that moment where I'm like, really? This is happening?
And it depends on who it is. Like, do we know this person? Like,
Yeah,
is
if I
it a
don't know
trusted
him,
person?
ooh, or if it's like a client that I don't like, it's going to be
That'd
real
be
quick.
real quick,
3
yeah.
seconds, because I'm going to be
Oh,
jump up and grab that motherfucker by his neck. Like, "Ah, you piece of shit.
yeah.
Today's the wrong day, bro.
There'd be certain
You
people
fucked with
where
the wrong bull.
it would go real quick.
Oh, God.
I would kind of like be in shock for a minute, but
And then you would immediately sit down to pee
and then I'd
and
sit
get
down to
nervous.
Justin might pull his firearm too quick. So
No, I don't have it on me.
no, okay.
I'm driving to California today, so I can't take it. Otherwise, it's a
Ugh.
felony.
Second listener question. How long does like a criminal case take from the second they call your building till the case is over?
I like
an
that.
interesting question.
I like that. Thank you for the question,
It
George.
started before then. It started when they were arrested or when they were charged.
or when something was reported, right?
Yeah.
Or
Well, yeah.
even falsely, maybe. Right?
Well, let's go back even further. It started when a crime's committed.
or a potential crime.
Or a potential crime, right? So from inception, like misdemeanors are usually a little faster. The problem is you deal with status checks, so that's a difficult question to answer. Because when you say how long does it take, from the time I get it, like for example, that DUI death case we got it on a Saturday, and I had it Wednesday, so
And then
14,
2 weeks after that.
19 days is how long that case took, and it went from a mandatory prison case down to a misdemeanor in 19 days. That was fast. But there was a lot of stuff that went into it, right? A lot of lawyering, a lot of talking, a lot of negotiating. Whereas I've got cases right now that just won't stop. Department 18, because we get 759 status checks. And so it just depends.
I think if we had just a general listener ask, and how long is my criminal case going to take? It would depend. If you have a DUI, I'd estimate, 9 months to a year. Okay. That's one where we're waiting for lab results
Unless
to come
you're
back.
in justice court, in which case sometimes you can have it done in 90 days.
Sometimes. Lab results are a big one for DUIs. Other misdemeanors, you could have that done within a month,
Yep.
On felonies, unfortunately, your case is going to be probably a minimum of 6 months. If you want to go to trial, we see these cases take, a couple years. On a murder case, you're going to see on the quick end.
It's a fair
gonna
thing
be
to
a year.
say each level. So like misto, gross misdemeanor, category E, category D, category C, category B,
Yes.
category A, 6 months for everyone. That would be a fair general statement. At minimum, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 30 months, 36 months. General statement.
With the exception of DUI is the only one where there's like an outlying chemical lab that it takes a little more time.
If you don't have to wait on any evidence, let's say the evidence is the event, the evidence is the witness statements, generally speaking, 6, 12, 18, generally. Because you're talking about status checks or follow-ups or like, let's say you enter a plea on a felony, but you get a drop down. Well, you still have to do your 2 years of probation. 2 years really turns into 18 months with good time credit. So that category D felony that then is turning into a gross misdemeanor or a misdemeanor, you got however long it took you to plead it out, which usually on the good end, a month, and then 18 months of probation. So over the 18, but under the 20. See, so it's a little difficult to answer.
Hey, that's why it's just a general question, and I appreciate it, George. We talked about that
And that's
before.
what we appreciate about you.
We thank George for being here while Austin's been out.
Yeah, while Austin's out, with responsibilities. I have a new baby and a family that loves me. I can't come in to be abused by you. Get in here.
Thanks for listening. Submit any stories you want us to talk about in the comments. and
Alyssa, I know you got a new job where you actually have to go to an office and be a real lawyer, but let's go.
Come on, Alyssa, send us
Send us more shit.
Send us in stuff. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
Bye.